Okay. Good morning, my yoga pals. Welcome to Chair Yoga with Olivia. I'm Olivia. This is my church home, North Presbyterian Church in Williamsville, New York. I am delighted you chose to come to class today. If this is your first time, I hope you find it to be beneficial to your health and your general well-being. If you've been here before, of course, welcome back. Today, we're going to focus on joy. In the Christian church, this is Holy Week, and it's typically kind of a downer week. But the good news is the end of the week is always joyful. It's Easter. So today, we're going to focus on joy and bring it into our lives. All right? So put a smile on your face, and let's get started. Be sure you have some water to drink. And maybe take your shoes off. I didn't wear my pink socks like I did last week. And as you see, there is very little sunshine in the sanctuary today. It's kind of a rainy day here in Buffalo. And so this is the day where you have to be the sunshine and I have to be the sunshine. All right, so right away, as you come to your seat, let's sit out towards the edge of your seat. And I want you to take a deep breath in, put a smile on your face, and exhale. You have arrived. Allow yourself to be present for these 45 minutes and give up everything else you have to do. Why not? What is more important than taking care of your general health? All right. Let the eyes just drift closed and draw your attention to your breathing. Let the mind come to stillness. Remembering that the mind really benefits from stillness, while the body benefits from movement. And let's not reverse those, ever. Think of your breath as just very cyclic, right? Coming in through the nose, circling around, coming out through the nose. Circling around, coming in through the nose. And so on and so forth. And once that mind has calmed a bit, let's turn the palms face up on the lap today. And in those hands, I want you to fill them with gratitude. 1, 2, 3 things you are grateful for. And then close up the palms together. Drop the chin to your chest. Acknowledge them. Corners of your mouth turn up in that little smile. Gratitude turns everything we have into enough. All right. So let's begin. Release the hands down towards the side. Coming into that seated mountain pose, allow the shoulders to draw down away from the ears and feel the back of the neck actually get long. That happens best when you take a little tuck to your chin there. And then tipping the head, drop the chin down, come up on the other side and around. All right. Crackling. Snap, crackle, pop. Just no pain, please. And one more time. All right, coming up, looking over the right shoulder. Let's press the knuckles back and lift the heart a wee bit more as you look over the right shoulder. And then turning the gaze maybe a little more skyward without crunching the neck, so continue to press the shoulders down. And then looking over to the left side. And let's just go back and forth a couple of times. Arcing up over, dropping the chin, maybe even take the gaze a little bit downward there, towards the bottom of towards your carpet, towards your floor. One more time. Notice any new sensations? And then that range of motion, maybe one side's a little different than the other. Just make a note. And back to the center. All right. Roll the shoulders around. I'm going to pull the heel of the hand back by the crease of my hip and pressing down a little bit into the heel of my hand as I lift the shoulders. So we start very easy. As I always say, find what feels good. And maybe this range of motion is a little tough for you. Maybe one side is a little different than the other. Work where you are comfortable. This is your workout. I'm merely here with suggestions. I'm going to take this a little bit bigger and take my elbow, those are fingers, up on my elbows. But again, find what feels good. If this isn't going to be part of your practice today, it's okay. And then one last circle. Let's try full range of motion. All right, splay those fingers out. In fact, let's just give them a little bit of a wiggle. Y'all know what this means in sign language, right? Yeah, it's clapping, it's joy. And one more time. All right, arms out to the side. Make yourself as big as you can. All right. And then let's just flatten the palms and turn the gaze. Keep reaching those left fingers to the left wall as you look to the right. Come back through the center. We go the other way. Look towards the left. Reach the right fingers out. And come back to the center. Just let the arms rest. Here's what I want you to notice is when you're doing this, you're typically going to want to let that left shoulder reach back. So I want you to keep that left shoulder back. Okay? Let's do it again. Arms out. Inhale. Sit nice and tall. Top of the sit bones. Exhale. Looking towards that right wall, but stretch the left fingers to the left. Come back through the center. Head over heart over pelvis. We go the other way. Stretch the left fingers, but reach the right fingers back. Watch that right shoulder does not roll forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Now, look down towards your feet. Maybe look underneath your chair. And then we're going to halfway rise. Come into that heart. Come into monkey pose. Reach into that chair pose. Come all the way up. Exhale. Let's do that again. Forward fold. Look down. Let the back of the neck get really long. And then slide up. Heart comes forward. Reaching forward, come all the way up. Let's turn to the right wall and float the arms down. Roll that right shoulder around. Sit nice and tall in the sit bones. And then maybe turn the gaze. All right, let's come back to the front. Another one, deep breath. Exhale, forward fold. This is where I want you to look underneath the chair. Release the back of the neck. Halfway rise, monkey pose. Reach into chair pose. And lifting up. We turn to the left and let the arms float down, getting that body nice and straight here. And then turning the gaze, only if you're comfortable. It's not necessary. Or roll the shoulder back. But notice head over heart over pelvis. You're letting that low back sort of press forward just a little bit. All right. Coming back to the front. Now you may hold on to the chair if that feels good. We're just going to lift and lower one leg at a time. What I want you to be conscious of is not this. Okay, so keep lifting. Every time that knee lifts, that crown of the head lifts nice and tall. So it's a very slow march. We're using the quadricep muscles to do this, and the hip flexors. We'll be sure we stretch them in a minute. All right, so starting to walk the feet out a bit may change this movement. All right, it's certainly going to a little more shift to the pelvis, but continue to lift the pelvic floor and pull the belly in. And just take head over heart over pelvis in a wide march. All right. So we lift up on that right foot, hold it up. Bringing it in. and bringing it out. You need to support it. Go ahead and do so. In and out. In and out. One more time. Let's leave it out. Other side, same thing. Belly in, lift and hold. And then moving it in and out. You need to support it. That's okay. You want to bring this right foot in a little bit more. That's okay too. And two more. Last one. All right, let's keep them out there. We're going to hinge forward and go around the world. So let's try to keep that spine straight. I know it sort of wants to do this, right? Maybe not. maybe not. But try to keep it nice and straight. You're going to pull that belly in as you do this. And this should feel really good in through the waistline. Let's go the other way and unwind. Hands on the thigh muscles for that support. Take this at your own pace. And again, one more. All right, hands wide. Take a deep breath in, or feet wide. And now we're going to forward fold. This time I want you to look down underneath the chair. Scoop the belly, push through the thigh muscles, and roll the spine back up. Sit up nice and tall. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands on the thigh. We come into flat back and then release like you got to look under the chair. Scoop the belly and round back up. I'm using my hands on my thighs to get myself back up. Walk your feet back in. Feet underneath you. Take a deep breath in. Hands to the heart. Another deep breath in. We exhale and get up. Whatever you need to do here. Exhale. Rising up into our mountain pose. Lovely. Sink into the knees and feel a little calf stretch, but keeping the shoulders on the wall behind you. In fact, let's extend the knuckles back. Deep breath in. And then coming back up, grab hold. Nice big basketball hoop here. Sink into the knees again. Stand up tall. Sink into the knees. Stand up tall. Round. Stand up tall. Sink into the knees. Stand up tall and round. All right, let's flip the palms skyward. Now notice they're just going to frame my face here. They can be in front of your head. They can be over. Wherever you're comfortable, just drop the shoulders down. All right, I'm going to lift up on my left elbow. And then lift up on my right elbow. And back to the center, a forward fold. All right, we're going to halfway rise, bringing the heart forward. Tuck the chin so the back of the neck gets very long. Now from here, what we're going to do is sink into the knees, release, look right down and back towards the knees, and reverse swan dive all the way back up. All right, did we get that? I'm going to do it again. If you weren't sure what I did, just watch. Deep breath in. Here's the forward fold. Here's the halfway rise. Long neck, my chin is tucked. And then I'm going to release back down, look back towards my knees, and then round the spine and roll back up. All right? You can always use hands on the thighs if you need that. Let's grab a drink of water and we'll move around to the back of the chair. Okay. All right. So, hands on the thighs, stepping back into downward facing dog. Splay your fingers out here, pressing just the heel of the hand onto the chair, and just gently, all right? So sink into one knee and then the other, and notice the movement of the hips back and forth, yeah? Nice side body stretch too. And again. All right, taking the gaze over the chair, you flex the back. Stepping in to the chair, roll the shoulders. All right, time for some cat and cow, but today I'm going to step around to the side of the chair. So you can turn the chair around or just step around to the side. Hands on the chair, almost like you're going to pick it up. I guess it depends on what kind of a chair you have. Coming into this tabletop position, so my feet are underneath my hips and my shoulders are underneath, wrists are underneath the shoulders. Bringing the heart forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and round the spine. Easy cat and cow. one of the best exercises you can do to keep that spine nice and flexible and round. Again, deep breath. This should feel amazingly wonderful. And again. And round. One more time. I like a little extra movement in mine too. All right. So then just wiggle the hips side to side. I say that because whenever we move hips, we smile. So that's what I want you to do. Looking like a snake going through the yard. Breathe. All right, so just coming back into that tabletop position, slide the leg that's closest to me away. I don't care which one it is. Just lifting it from the earth, and then let the heart come forward. And we're going to take a little pulse here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it and breathe. Bend the knee. Sole of the foot to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Bring the heart forward. And let's bring it right back in. All right. I'm going to go to the other side. You don't have to, but just so you can see. All right. We take the other side. Slide it out and lift. Before you start anything, heart comes forward so that back stays straight. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Heart comes forward. You can always use the back of the chair if that feels better for you. And then bend the knee, sole the foot to the ceiling. Same thing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the heart come forward again. Hold it and breathe. Bring the knee in and set it down. Back to downward facing dog. Take 1 step back, take 2 step back, whatever feels best to you. Soften the knees and breathe. Splay your hands out on the chair. One more. All right, bring the hands back to the thigh muscles. We're going to reverse swan dive back, all the way back up. Deep breath, arms out wide. Okay, and back behind the chair, stepping the toes out wide, and give yourself a little space so when we come forward fold, you won't hit your face. All right, so sinking into the knees and then come right back up. The key to this is to keep the shoulders on the wall behind you, and you'll have to decide how far out you can turn the toes and still let that happen, all right? So find that comfort zone, also how deep you're going to go, and still keep the shoulders on the wall behind you. Again. And one more time. All right, let's take those arms out, and we'll hold this. So sinking down. A little goddess pose first, lifting the arms. Let the knuckles press back as well, dropping the shoulders, belly in. And then we're going to cross hands, squeezing the knuckles, draw the elbows in. And let's pulse down here. 4, use the chair if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Rise up and release. Come back into this bent knee and the bent arm. Can you remember what hand you crossed over? We're going to take the other one in a minute. Pressing the knuckles back, elbows forward, lift the heart. Whatever feels most natural, go the other way. I think I did it, I'm not sure. Elbows are up so you're looking right beyond the wrists, and we pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching up and out. Forward fold. Here's those sunflowers. Rise back up. Again. This makes me smile. Sunflowers. Think of it. And one more time. And all the way up. All right. Coming down, let's turn that left toe to the front and right toe to the right wall and sink into that knee. Push the water out, or like you got a bucket. You're going to dump the water out, come back around, scoop some more, and toss it away. And again, so I'm sinking into that front knee, and then I'm straightening. Roll towards the heel if you'd like to. Get rid of it. Come right back up, scoop some more, come right back up, and one more time. Come right back up. Toes to the front, star pose. Oops, toes out, star pose. Take up as much space as you can. Drop the shoulders. All right, we're going to sink into the knees. And now just swing the hips side to side before we go the other way. Yep. Hip swinging makes one smile. So smile. Joy, joy, joy. And then circle the hips around. So imagine your tail is doing this. Yep. Go the other way. All right. So now we go to the other side. Right toe to the front, left toe to the left, and sink into that knee. All right, we circle around and whoosh, out goes the water. And again, go ahead and reach out there. Come on back. Reach out there. And again, swoosh. 2 more. Swoosh. Last one. Swoosh. Star pose. Both toes turn out. Hold it and breathe. Strong, strong, strong legs here. Imagine your feet were slipping out, so you're pulling in on the inner thigh, squeezing those glutes, working the quadricep muscles. Nice and tall. Press the elbows back. Let the heart come forward just a wee bit more. And now, sunflowers. Scoop down. Rise up. Scoop down. Rise up. All right. Hands to the chair. Walk your feet in. Work the ankles. Work the feet. Stepping back to downward facing dog. And breathe. Hollow your belly. Let those sit bones point to the back wall. Soften the knees as much as you need to do this. All right, taking the gaze over the chair, we're going to cross step with the left foot and then bringing that right knee in and around. So I like you to think of it as I'm brushing the floor, all right? You can keep the foot down, you can raise it up. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever feels good to you. My body has turned a little bit to the diagonal here. And again, in and out, really working in that hip today. And one more time. All right, so square the body up to the front. Now I've got my leg extended to the back, but as you see, it's bent, all right? And I want you to lift the foot, the whole leg, to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it and breathe. Balance if you can. My supporting leg is bent. Heart coming forward. All right. Bring that knee up. Use the chair if you need to. Let it rise up. And then I'm going to take that hand on my hip, extend the leg out, and maybe even add a little twist. If you need to put the foot on the ground, do so. Head over heart over pelvis here. Little micro bend in that supporting leg. You got to squeeze that glute there. Coming back to the front, drop the foot and let it lift to the side. And here is falling star. Looking forward to me, maybe turn the gaze. I have not let go of the chair. And I don't expect you to either, unless of course you wanted to. All right, bending the knee, drop that foot behind you. And with the heel of the hand, hold that ceiling up. I'm going to sink into the front knee, getting a nice calf stretch in the back and a long stretch from the heel of my hand to my right hip. All right, both feet together, deep breath in, upward salute, forward fold. Let's halfway rise into our monkey pose. Really feeling that in the hamstrings now. Extend the arms back into our airplane. Nice soft knees here. And then simply rise up. Press through the toes. Come right back up to mountain pose. Yeah. Downward facing dog. We'll take the other side. So fingers are splayed out. Heel of the hand on the chair. Really working through the fingers. Let them splay out. You can curl them in, splay them out. And just lightly on the chair, as lightly as you can. In fact, let's try to lighten up on the hands. And I want you to do that by drawing those drawing that navel inward, working the legs even more. So you could almost lift one or both hands off the chair. All right, with that right foot, you look over the chair. I'm going to cross step with the right foot. And then with that left knee, it's going to come in and out. All right, so make this about your hip and not your right knee, okay? Because your right knee probably won't like that. So if you need to take the foot on the ground here, maybe just circling on the ground, that's fine. If you want to take it up and pretend like it's a broom, that's okay too. So lead in with the knee, lead out with the knee, even if you're coming this way, leading in and out, but just not this right knee. That right leg has to be extremely strong on the ground. And I'm looking off in the diagonal for right now. Two more. All right, so now it comes to the back and square your body up to the front. So now that right foot should point to the front, and as you notice, my left knee is bent. I'm going to lift that whole leg to the ceiling behind me and pulse it. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Bring that stomach in. And should you find balance, extend. Heart's coming forward. Back foot is flexed. It's really working. That glute is really fired on. All right, we're going to bring that knee to the front, upward salute. And then we're going to turn the body. Maybe even extend that foot out if you'd like. You can always drop the foot to the ground if that feels better to you. I'm not asking for balance, but should you find it, give it a shot. Come on back to the front. Drop that foot down, and we're just going to simply lift it out to the side. So the knee and the toe is still facing to the ceiling. You can turn a little bit if that feels better to you. And we reach to the sky. Falling star. And no falling person, okay? So I'm going to say, keep your hand on the chair, unless, of course, you're ready for that balance challenge. But find what feels good. Turn the gaze if you'd like. Put that smile on your face. Bringing that foot in, drop behind you and a little over. I'm going to sink into my front knee, straighten that back leg, heel the hand. You got to hold the ceiling up there. So really press through that arm. You'll feel a great stretch all the way into that left hip. Relax through the shoulders and just let that happen. And the hand is flexed up there. You're holding that ceiling up. Come back, both toes facing the front. Let's take that upward salute. And then palms to the ceiling. Now drop the shoulders here. Bend the elbows as much as you need to. And we're going to wash the wall right in front with those flexed wrists. They come to the back. And then they're going to flip and scoop right back up. And they're going to flip and hold the ceiling. And then flip. Press back. And then flip them. Coming up. Hold the ceiling up one more time. Drop your shoulders, come into this reverse handstand. Straightening arms as best you can, but continuing to draw the shoulders down. Belly is lifted. The ribs and the hips are connected here. So I haven't let my rib cage pop out. It's a lot of work on those forearms. All right, we forward fold. And halfway rise. Keep the chin tucked. You're looking towards the ground. And then I want you to draw the shoulders together. Bring the hands up by the crease of the hip. The shoulders are drawing inward. The elbows are drawing skyward. And then slide the fingers back. Palms to the ground. Knuckles to the ceiling. My knees are soft. My belly is pulled in. And we're going to just stand up tall. So use the toes. Push. Coming all the way back up. Voila. Deep breath. All right, let's take a little shake out behind the chair. And maybe even that knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. All right. So swinging the arms around, lifting up on that opposite heel. Yeah. And then I like to just let this sort of slow down and then come back to just standing position. Downward facing dog. Stepping back. And breathe. All right, so from beautiful downward, still downward, turn the gaze over the hand so you flex the back a bit. We're going to step in on the right foot and then reach that left toe back even further. We're going to come into our warrior two, so that left arm is going to windmill around. That entire body, remember when we were seated, is going to turn to the left wall, but I want you to look over the two peace fingers in front. Now notice that front knee is bent, back leg is straight, right? That knee is over the ankle. Breathing. Reach to the back wall with those fingers. Try to get yourself as thin front to back as you can. Press down through the feet. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Put a smile on your face. All right, palm to the ceiling. I'm going to use my right hand here, but if you need it on the chair, that's okay. I'm going to lift up into reverse. Keep that front knee bent. It tends to straighten here, so keeping it bent. And now straighten that right leg and windmill the arms. Reach, 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 reach. Let the hand find the chair. We come into triangle pose. That left arm reaches skyward. And once again, your gaze goes to the left wall. If you need to glance at me, that's fine, but then look towards the left wall, so don't crank your neck around to see me here. Use the chair or let the hand travel down towards the thigh or the shin. Just careful of that knee. It's just resting there. Now, should you find balance, use the chair if you need to. Turn the gaze maybe skyward, depending on the flexibility in your neck here. Breathe. All right, windmill that left arm back to the chair. Sink into the knee. I want you to lift that back heel. I have both hands on the chair now, and I'm going to sweep that right arm up. Twisted lunge, so that back heel is up. You can drop it down if that feels better to you. Dropping that left shoulder a wee bit more towards the chair, sinking into the knee a little bit more. Reach. Twisted high lunge. And should you find balance, release that left arm down to the outside edge of your right leg. Both hands back to the chair. Step that back foot in a bit and ground it through the heel. Come away if you can. Pyramid pose, hands on the hips, lifting the heart. We're going to hinge forward. My elbows are back. Yeah, they look like fins, and hinging towards the chair. Now, too much on the core, on the back, go ahead and use the chair. It's just fine. But should you find balance, let's extend the arms to the back. I have a micro bend in my front leg. Don't lock it out, please. And then we're going to sweep the arms to the front. Use the chair if you need to. Press through the feet and rise back up. Nice and tall. Upward salute. Let's take this candlestick pose. Draw that line on. Stretch the arms even further if you can. And then release. Hands back on the chair. Back to downward facing dog. And we have one more side to do. And I'm going to try to do this without the chair. We'll see how this works. So we've been in downward facing dog here. Yeah, I'll use this for a minute. Yeah. All right, take your gaze over the chair. I want you to step in on the left foot and step back on the right foot. Front knee is over the ankle, and we're going to windmill that left arm around, coming into our warrior two. Now, just as we did in the beginning, I want you to turn your gaze over the front two fingers. But as that happens, continue to stretch that right arm back. So you are really going to work on this twist in the shoulder or back to head over heart over pelvis instead of this, all right? Turning the gaze. Looking over the 2 peace fingers. Another breath. All right, into reverse. Palm to the ceiling. Use the chair if you need to, and we lift up. My front knee stays bent. Let that left hand or right hand slide down the back of the leg or tuck it into your back left pocket. And now into triangle pose. We straighten that front leg. Windmill. Reach that left hand beyond the chair. And then maybe let it find the chair or the leg and extend that right arm skyward. So I am turned my whole body to the right wall. Breathe. I'm just going to turn back to you here so you can see. One more breath. Nice strong legs on this. I love this posture. All right, both hands find the chair. Both hands found the chair. And then I want you to rise up in that back ball of the foot on that right foot. Okay, I'm going to go this way. On the right foot. So it's like you're pushing the grocery cart or the lawnmower, all right? And then swinging that left arm out to the side. So my back leg is straight, my front knee is still over the ankle. Twisted high lunge. Now, belly comes in. Squeezing the inner thighs together always helps that happen. Should you find balance, a nice balance challenge, release the hand to the thigh muscle or keep it handy, whatever you need. All right, release both hands back to the chair. Step back to downward facing dog and breathe deep. Breathe in a new sense of joy for your accomplishment today. You have celebrated your capabilities and honored your limitations, I certainly hope. A breath of fresh air. Hands on the thigh muscles. Tuck the tailbone and round back up. And just like when you get out of bed in the morning, take that great big stretch. Each breath is a new beginning, huh? All right, let's grab a drink of water and we'll sit back down on the chair. All right. So tall on the sit bones. Roll the shoulders around, lifting the heart. Elbows back. Take the gaze up. Yeah. And reach that right arm skyward. A little baby arc over. And then come back to the center. One more time. We're reaching up. Now, because we're nice and warmed up, we're going to take that nice arc over. Fire on those abdominal muscles. Watch the ribs don't pop. Sit on the sit bones and find that length. You need to bend the arm, that's okay. Maybe reach the elbow. Maybe support it if you need it. And release down. Press those knuckles back. Hinge forward. Knuckles to the ceiling, palms to the ground. Breathe. All right, hands on the thighs. Look down towards the feet. Maybe look underneath the chair. Scoop the belly. Now lift it away from the thigh muscles. Using your hands, push up and round the spine back up. Lifting up on that right leg, pulling it in. I'm going to grab the front. You can stay here. Take a deep breath in and exhale, round the spine. And then inhale, sit up tall. And just let that leg swing first. All right. All right, so coming into a little different twist, a little different stretch on the leg today. But again, if you've had hip trouble, hip replacement, knee trouble, you've been told not to cross the midline, don't do it. Just put the foot down. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to cross my ankle right up here at the knee. But what I'm going to do is going to keep this knee up. And I'm going to continue to draw the knee first up towards my heart. All right, so you're going to feel this great stretch in through that outer thigh right when you're here, okay? Now, adding a little bit of a twist to this, if you'd like, I'm going to get my belly out of the way and come up on the other side. So now the knee is going to draw towards my shoulder, and with my left hand, I'm going to wrap it around and reach for the wrist, all right? So sitting nice and tall, follow the natural turn of your spine right now, which is going to be to the right. Maybe even the chin over the shoulder. Breathing deep, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Breathe. One more breath. All right, slowly return to the front. Let's take that leg out to the side and holding it up. Imagine you are actually standing on this foot. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, you want to do that? Go ahead. Breathe. Maybe release the hand. Down comes the leg. Deep breath in. All right, up comes the other knee. Grab wherever you need to. Deep breath in. Exhale, rounding that spine, getting a great stretch. Push back. I'm using this foot to sort of push back. And then sit up tall. Just a little swing in the leg, kind of like the can there. No, 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 no. All right, so up and over she goes. Right there by the ankle. And then let that knee draw right towards the heart. Maybe that's where you need to stay today. All right, your call entirely. I'm going to deepen this. I want to roll back, get my belly out of the way. No judgment here at all. All right? Wrapping that arm around, maybe reach for the wrist, and then sitting up tall. Let that low back press forward. You will really feel that lengthen and that stretch in that hip then. And turning the gaze. That natural curve to your spine is heading to the left. Turning the shoulder as well. And then I tend to draw up on my shoulders here, so I really have to work at keeping both shoulders pressing down. The good news is I'm using my shoulder muscles to do this, so double strength, huh? And then slowly return to the front. Grab underneath the leg. Let the leg just, again, be dead weight in your hand right there, all right? And that means we have to use those shoulder muscles to do that. You want to stand up and take this? Do it. Breathing. Release. Let it fall down. Deep breath in. Exhale, a lovely forward fold. Looking down underneath the seat. Now rise up the legs. Let the heart come forward into chair pose. Roll the shoulders back. Push the sit bones back towards the chair. Again, roll the shoulders back. Holding and breathing. And then all the way up. Release. Let's walk the hips back towards the back of the chair. So snuggle that pelvis in. If you're in a chair where you can get a little bit of massage on that low back there, go ahead and do it. All right. And then feet out in front. Press on the gas and the brake or the gas and the clutch. Yeah. And wiggle your toes. Fingers as well. Splay them out. Splay them out. Yeah. All right. Flex. Almost like you're trying to look at the sole of your feet and then point the toes. Bring the knuckles of the toes together and then click the heels and say there's no place like home. One more time. All right, and release back down. Now, scoop the belly, push back into your chair just ever so slightly. Tuck the shoulders underneath. I know it depends on what kind of a chair you're in. And then resting the hands open, open. Remember those three things we were grateful for. Label them. Drop them into your hands. Let the corners of your mouth draw back in that little smile that reminds your heart to be joy-filled. With each breath in comes joy. And as you bring it in, let it filter through that most wonderful aroma to you. Maybe it's chocolate chip cookies. Maybe it's fresh made bread. Maybe it's pizza. Just remember that aroma and let joy filter through that. Oh, yes. And the mantra running through your head is, I am so grateful for. And then closing your hands around that gratitude. Joy in your breath, gratitude in your hands, dropping your chin to your chest. Breathe in that gratitude. Breathe in that joy. Gratitude turns everything we have into enough. And so with a grateful heart, I say to you all, Namaste. Which means the light in me sees the light in you. I hope you have a wonderful finish to this week. We will have worship service here using the same length on Friday, Good Friday, and again on Easter Sunday. Let's see, Good Friday at noon, Easter Sunday at 10:15. Join us if you're looking for a place to worship. And again, have a wonderful week. Namaste, dear friends.